In the last episode of Pixar's Adventure Park, we built the iconic Paradise Falls. And behind this, we built the queue and exit for the main attraction of the land. Welcome back everyone, and welcome back to Pixar's Adventure Park episode 18. In this episode, we are finally going to be finishing off this upland here. I know I said I was going to do it in the last episode, but there was just way too much to do, so we're going to do all the final touches right now. But before we get started, let me just tell you what I'm thinking of doing in this episode. We're just going to be adding some final touches to the land, which will include little objects around the land, maybe a couple characters. We also got to put the ride signs in place here. And we also just need to fix up the general landscape because it's not finished yet. So yeah, we just need to do that. But the first thing I want to do is actually add in a balloon cart over here. And this balloon cart is going to be the one seen in this clip here. Alrighty, let's quickly get started on this. So of course we're going to start making the little base of the cart, of course. It's going to be just a simple like that, and then we need to add some color to this. So we're going to add some of this nice red color, and then we're also going to make it wood like that. We also need to add a really big wheel to the side as well, so we'll quickly make that. Alrighty, now that we got a little wheel design, we can put this in place. We'll go right around about there. Alright, one of the last details we need to do on this balloon cart is make just the little like helium cylinder they have on it. This should be fairly simple to do, but then I'm gonna just make this metal, of course. And then on the top there, we will just have like the little gas and all that you fill the balloons up with. Looking pretty nice. The last thing we need to do is just make the balloons. And for this on the cart, we're just going to make like a little area here where the balloons are going to be attached to. Now that we've got pretty much the whole cart done, all we need to do is just add the balloons and then it will be finished. Now, this isn't going to be too big. There's not going to be many balloons here at all. We'll do like maybe 10 balloons, I think will be a good number. We can then copy this up and we're just going to rotate it around a whole bunch. And of course, we'll just need to adjust some of these balloons. Then we can add one final one to the top there. And then I'm going to just change one of those colors there. And I think just something as simple as that will look pretty nice. There's like maybe 7 balloons there, but that's all we really need. We just then need to move that over the top there. And then we can just finally just add those strings. I actually really like how this looks. It's very simple, but it just like adds a nice little like bit of color to the area. And I think what we can do with this as well is maybe put one over here as well, maybe something just like that next to the up house, of course. There we go. So with that done, I think the next thing I want to do is there's a certain character that I want to make. Now I've been thinking about this for a long time because I have a very specific way that I want to make this character. The character I'm going to be building, of course, is going to be Kevin. And Kevin, of course, is a bird and it's very fluffy. So my idea is very simple. What I'm going to be doing, so I'm going to be grabbing these new bushes here, and these it looks like a bush right now, but if I was to color it like, let's say purple, like Kevin's color, you can kind of get away with making those look like feathers. So I think we're going to try something like that and see if that's going to work well. So this is future Kai Corbin here. I'm not going to show you the actual building process of this. It was just a bunch of placing the bushes in the right places and making them the right colors. The issue I ran into was making the head. This I just couldn't seem to get right. It may look really goofy for now. I go back later and I do fix it. So just ignore it for now. It looks trash. I'm gonna be self-real. It gets better. Don't worry. Let's just say that from a distance, Kevin looks pretty good. I'm gonna grab Kevin, and there's a specific little thing I want to do with her. And in the movie, there's like this. She's got a nest. So my idea is I'm gonna make that. I'm gonna have some eggs here. It's gonna be like a little Easter egg that you can see through the trees. Here's the idea. Some eggs put in here. Now, eggs are a weird shape. They don't have it in the game, so I'm just gonna have to make these custom. So we'll just put these eggs around. Put 3. I think she has like 3 kids. Now what I want to do with this is I'm just going to grab a bush, and we're just going to put the bush very deep into the ground there, but then we're going to make the leaves like brown, so it's like, it looks like a little nest. Look at that. Looks very nice. And now we don't want people seeing this angle, so we got to cover this up with trees, which leads me on to the next thing. We need to finish the nature of the land. It is looking very bare. We need to add some trees, some nature, some rocks, you know, little things like that. So yeah, I'll be right back with you once I've done that. Enjoy the time lapse. Alright, so I have done like a lot, and when I say a lot, I mean a lot of decoration here. I added a lot of flowers just to add some color, lots of grass, lots of bushes, just everywhere. Like, it looks a lot better now in my opinion, except for this little area, but we'll get to this in just a second. Another thing I did is at the entrance here, I added some slight like leaves coming out of the rocks, make it kind of look like moss. It looks really nice. So yeah, with that all done, the next thing I want to do is just make this waterfall look pretty and nice. It's nice and open, and it's actually the first like water we have in the whole park, and it's kind of crazy. So we just need to kind of blend this in a bit nicer, and I'm going to use these rocks here to do that. Now, as typical, I'm going to just be doing a bunch of rock work along the sides here, so nothing too interesting. While I'm building this, I got a funny story. So pretty much like the Monsters Inc. land I built that before they made the announcement for that new land they've got coming to Hollywood Studios over here. And I was at the parks recently, so I got a picture of the concept art they have just outside of the construction site. And I posted it on my YouTube post, and everyone in the comments thought like I was the one designing it for Disney. I am not. I wish I was, but I am not, guys. Come on. People really like thought that Disney themselves saw my videos and were like, this guy's good, we need it. I mean, that just did not happen. It would be awesome if it did, but guys, come on, let's be realistic. It's just funny that how much of a coincidence that land is to my land. It's pretty much the same land. But yeah, we've got that done now. I'm going to quickly just adjust some of these rocks to make it more randomized, make it look nicer. All right, that should do for now. And then we can put the water back, and hopefully it should just look really nice now. Oh, look at that. Looks a lot cleaner and nicer. All right. What is also nice is that the path for the drop ride here, it gives you a nice view of Paradise Falls. That's beautiful. What's to do now? I think the next thing I need to do is actually make the ride signs for the rides, the 3 rides we have in this land. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do these off screen, but before we do that, we need to actually add them here because I don't know where I'm gonna put them, but I think I've got a cool idea of what I could do. I'm gonna try and incorporate this ride sign into the rock work here a little bit. That looks pretty nice, so we could have the ride sign right there. I'm gonna lower this rock just down, make it a bit clearer there. And then pretty much we can just copy this over to the side over here, and we could have the ride information on this one over here. So very basic, but it's gonna look pretty nice. Okay, so with that done, I'm gonna go design the logos for these. I already have names picked for these rides, and some of you actually guessed the names correct. I'm like really surprised. Like someone specifically got this ride, like the name pretty much identical to what I'm gonna call it. I'll try and find the comment and give them a bit of a shout out, but yeah, it's kind of crazy. All right, I'll be back with those designs. Okay, it has been a little bit of time, and I have now done all the names for the rides, and I have made the images and the ride info signs. So let's go by each one and I'll show you. So for this first one, we have the drop tower, and I decided to call this one Up and Down Again. Now I'll put the comment up on screen if I can find it of the person who actually like guessed the name of this. Here's the ride info sign if you're interested as well. You can pause it and read it there. And now for this next one, which is the balloon ride, of course, we have decided to call it Up and Away. Of course, you could probably see a bit of a theme with the names here being based off the movie Up. It just makes sense. Now for this logo, I decided to try and inspire it over the Wilderness Explorers colors, which are the same sort of colors I use for the actual ride vehicle. And the little information side is right here if you want to pause it and read it. And then for the final ride here at the end, we have the main e-ticket. It is Soarin' with Carl and Russell. Pretty simple, but like it does the job. Okay, so there's a bit of a story on why I decided to name it this, because the original ride I wanted to do was going to be just like the original Soarin', except it was going to have like Carl and Russell kind of taking you on a tour around South America. It was going to show like iconic like parts of the land, like of course Paradise Falls here, and some other things like that. So that was the original design, but because I'm limited to Roblox, I can't really make like a whole custom 3D video for the ride, so I have just taken clips from the movies. And of course, if you've seen my previous videos, you'll know how this ride works. It is pretty much just like a dollar store version of the Soarin' ride machine. I haven't finished the image panels yet because it's gonna take so long, but yeah, there's a lot of limitations to this game, which kind of sucks, but I think it's alright, and it's a good kind of placeholder for like what it could be. We have gotten a lot done, and when I say a lot, like look at this land, it's looking almost finished. Almost. Thinking of it, there's 3 more things I need to do. Okay, so the first one is pretty simple. I want to build maybe some benches and trash cans and put them around. That will take 2 seconds. The next thing I need to do is this little corner here, I need to theme it because the land that's going to be here is going to be a complete polar opposite to this nature-esque land. It's going to be like, I can't say too much, but yeah, it's going to be very cool. So I'm going to need to figure out a way to make it like split off into 2 sections. I'm thinking of kind of having like a rock barrier go here maybe. I don't know yet. We'll see how it goes. And then after that, the last thing we would need to do is put some lights around the land because at night it's going to be very dark. Let's quickly have a look. Yeah, it's pretty bad at the moment. And this is with just random light orbs everywhere. So I will need to like delete those. And as you can see, it's not very good. I have some pretty cool ideas for like little light effects I can add. So once we get that in place, it'll look pretty good and pretty much finished. So it is the next day and I have officially fixed Kevin. Let me just show you what I've done. So this is what he looked like before. When I logged on today, I just thought it was trash. I fixed it. I think it looks a lot better now. Now we have this. I feel like this just catches his derpiness a lot better. I also fixed up just some of the colors on him, made him a bit brighter. But I think this just looks a lot better. And I have already put him in place over here. He is pretty big, I mean, she is very big, but it's fine. It's whatever. But I think she looks a whole lot better now. All right, the next thing I quickly want to do and get done is some benches and some trash cans for the land. And I'm gonna kind of cheat a little bit and do it very easily. So if I'm just gonna come over here, I've got some very nice already in theme ones over here, so I'm just going to copy these down here, but I am still going to change these, just make them a little bit different. For example, for the trash can, I'm going to get this, and I'm going to just make the bottom of it cobblestone. Then I'm going to do the same with each of these legs, and just adding some little details like that. It's going to make it look really nice. Alrighty, we'll just group this, and then we can also group the trash can. And we can just start placing these around now. I think one over here at the entrance would be quite nice. I'm also just going to copy this all the way down. Here I think will be a nice spot as well. Just going to put one just on the other side here along the water here. I feel like would be really nice. And I think as trash cans and benches go, that's going to be plenty for the land. It is a very small land. We don't need too many. Alrighty, it has been a bit of time since I have done the seats and trash cans. So the next thing I want to do is just finish this little area here, because this is going to transition on into the next land over here. Ignore all this crap. It's just a bunch of random testing. But yeah, so the land that's going to be over here, it's going to kind of like wrap around this whole area, and it's going to be very different to this like forest vibe. So what I'm going to need to do is do something to try and keep the two lanes separate, keep it immersive. And I think what I want to do is something like this, but not as big, and put it over here, because these two lanes here, they're both foresty, so they can like fit the vibe pretty well. So I just need to get something here. All right, so we're just gonna start with some basic rock work, and I'm thinking of just having like a tunnel here that you go through. And of course we want this to be that same sort of style we've done for the rest of the upland, because technically this is still the upland here. There we go. So that's kind of going to be the little barrier, just so when you're in this first person mode, you're not going to be able to see into the land next to you. But we just got to fill these gaps in very quickly, so let's do that. Just like we did for Paradise Falls, we're just going to have this rock work slowly go up. You don't have to do anything too crazy here, because I think what I want to do is just have this little area of forest, so just something in case you are able to see it on the ride there, which you most likely will be able to. So something like that will be pretty nice. Now what I want to do is just add some of these colors that we used over there. There we go. That works nicely. It's very small rock work, but it will do the job. Another thing I think I could probably get away with is just kind of have it look like a rock has like fallen over here maybe. Let's see if this is going to look any... I think that looks good. I just want to lower it a whole bunch. I think just like that will work fine. So now this area is very like excluded from the rest of the park, which is what we want. I just need to now finish the rest of the little forest area here. So I can just copy all this sort of floor terrain over now as well. And then on this side over here, we're just going to do the dirt from the bugs land, because we need to kind of merge the two lands at this moment. Alrighty, it's looking pretty nice and simple, and now we just gotta pretty much just do what we've done for the rest of this land and fill it with forest. So I'm gonna do that, and I'll be back with you once I'm done. So it's been like 5 minutes. It didn't take me long at all, but I now have this. Oh gosh, I now have this like little area just filled in nicely. It's nice and little foresty, I guess. I don't know. There's not much to it. It's just kind of extending the fence around, adding some trees. I may also add some of these park benches around the corner here as well. I was also thinking I could fit a little flat ride in here. And I think it would be cool to do a flat ride that's not a part of All Bugs Life, but like some random movie, even like a short. So if you have any ideas of like a little flat ride I could put in here, it could be for like anything, let me know and I may do it. All right. Now with that done, there's one last thing we need to do, and that is add lights. Now I have a cool idea I do want to try. Don't know if it will work nicely, but let's try it. So we're just going to use these posts. We're going to make them a bit bigger. And then we're going to have just a pole here, and it's going to spread out to two sides like this. Okay, so the basic idea I want to do is sort of like a jar with fireflies in it. That may sound kind of strange. Let me just cook up really quickly, and we'll see if it looks cool or not. So we're gonna use the new glass primitives, which are like the best addition to the game, I think, like ever. Like, you can make windows now. It's so good. So we'll put glass in the middle like that, and we're gonna up or down the transparency a lot on it. And then the idea is we're gonna get some light orbs, the smallest ones. We're then going to make this like a nice orange color, maybe a bit more yellow, just like that. And then we're gonna have one main one that's gonna provide light, and then we're gonna put another one here, and we're gonna put this other one on posts. Oh, this is gonna be so cool. And then we're just gonna up the brightness on this one. Let's quickly set it to night and see if we're getting the desired effect that I want. We don't even need to have it too bright, but it will work nicely. And now what I'm going to do is copy the posting ones around, but I'm going to turn the range down on these so it doesn't affect anything else too much. And then we also just want to change the time of these post ones, because we just kind of want them to be random. And then we'll add one more solid one just to make it even, and we'll turn the range down on that. So that's kind of the idea I want. Put these inside the light there. We got to just make the cylinder a tiny bit bigger. And then we just need to copy these ones as well. And we can put these ones in. And just like that, we have a very simple, but I think a very cool light post. We're going to grab this, and we can now just start to place this around the land. This is a very subtle change, but it's just going to add a bit more life to the land at night. And it's something that we kind of did a little bit in Cars Land with the different reactive lights. And I think it just will make it just so nice. Alright, I have added a whole bunch of these lights, and they just add so much ambience to the land. It looks so nice. The next thing I want to do with the lights is light up the signs here. So like in front of each of the ride signs, I want to add a little light because it is very dark, and you know, we want it to be clear and easy to read. So I'm going to quickly make a little design for that. This is very basic, but honestly, I don't think there was much more I could have done. And this is just going to add some nice ambient light. And actually, the white color just does not match the land at all, so we gotta fix that. All right, I think that looks pretty nice. I'm just trying to think of what else I want to do. Yes, Kevin needs some light, and for the light, I'm gonna yoink the ones that I used over here in the cars now, because these are actually some really nice ambient lights. There we go, that looks pretty nice. The land is looking really good now. The only thing I need to do really is just add lights around this path, but I'm not gonna do that now. With that done, the land is pretty much finished. It's looking really nice. We got the lights also adding a bit of ambience during the day. It's amazing. I love it. And I think with all of that said, this land is pretty much finished. I can't think of anything else that I would want to add. I mean, like, yeah, there are a lot of comments that are saying they want me to add like a blimp, but I tried. It did not look good, so I'm probably not going to do that. But I'm really happy with how this turned out. I'll be honest, when I first started this land, like if you've watched the first episode of this land, it was not looking good. Like I did like 4 different layouts of the land, deleted them each time because I just didn't like how it was going. Originally, it was meant to be like a boat ride that was going to be in this corner, and I just couldn't get it right. I did not like it. But I think I like where we are at now. It looks really nice. So with that said, I think I've finished the upland. But now what does that mean? That means we get to move on to the next area. And some of you may be thinking we're going to be moving on to this area here, but that is not what I'm gonna do. Now that we've finished Upland, we have 3 different areas left. We're gonna have one over here, we're gonna have one behind the Monsters Inc. building, and one in this corner here. Instead of continuing on through the left side here like we've done, we're gonna go to the right and build the land that's gonna be over in this corner here. And this land is gonna be absolutely crazy. It's gonna be insane. The roller coaster that I plan on building back here is gonna be probably the most like technically advanced coaster that I think I'm gonna see in this game like ever. Like the things that I have planned are just, they're honestly crazy. Like I don't know why I keep putting myself through this, but it's gonna be insane. With that said, thank you so much for watching this episode. If you enjoyed the Upland, remember to subscribe. And a bit of a teaser for the next land. Well, it's gonna be